Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate the opportunity to briefly present an invitation to the upcoming 30th anniversary meeting in Beijing, as well as a bit of HIMSS history. I'll also present the new structure of the board. The next speaker, Dr. Dilip Kanwar, the chair of HIMSS, will cover the organizational aspects of HIMSS in more detail. Now let's have a look at the current structure of the organization. The board, which has an operational focus, consists of a CEO and 9 officers. 2 officers are from South America, 2 are from North America, 2 from Europe, and 1 each from Africa and Asia. And there is 1 open seat in the board, which is likely to be filled by Rong Yingnu from China. The General Assembly represents the 45 member countries and is responsible for the policy decisions. The General Assembly is chaired by Dr. Dilip B. Kanwar from India, who was recently elected as a new board chair. The 14,700 members participate in the standardization process, and they each have a vote when balloting the HIMSS standards and in electing the General Assembly. Obviously, not all members are active voters. Curiously enough, we had 2 elections last year for the General Assembly where both of our candidates received an equal amount of votes. Maybe we should allow the chair to cast the deciding vote? That will be yet another tweak to our democratic processes. It's hard to believe, but we'll be having our 30th anniversary meeting later this year, and you'll all be invited to attend. We have a whole series of excellent speakers lined up. As most of you are aware of, HIMSS itself hasn't existed for 30 years. So I'd like to briefly present an overview of the history of HIMSS itself, which is not even 5 years old. HL7, the main HIMSS predecessor, was founded in 1987. So that is why we are having our 30th year anniversary this year. Curiously enough, DICOM was founded in 1983. So one could also argue that this is actually our 34th anniversary. In 2012, after a turbulent period for HL7, the interim board decided that a leap forward was necessary, and it decided to merge with DICOM and transform itself into HIMSS. One has to really applaud the vision of that interim board. This was indeed a leap of faith. This is especially true if one looks at the reasons for the turbulence: dwindling numbers of volunteers, corrective action which has to be taken against multiple board members, and the drastic shift in US government policies when it comes to meaningful use. I must admit that I'm glad I wasn't active in HL7 at that time. Their leap forward was, however, both necessary as very successful. Another milestone in our brief history was the opening up of all our standards due to grant by the Chinese government. The simple fact that the HIMSS standards are open has significantly increased the acceptance of our standards. That and strengthening the involvement of HIMSS in supporting the software vendor community led to the next milestones. 2 years ago at our conference in Accra, representatives from the open source community, notably OpenMRS and Canonical, signed the Accra Declaration, which will increase the use of HIMSS standards in open software enormously, which in turn will benefit the delivery of healthcare in poor countries. IHG approached us in September 2014 to become our implementation profiles division. This has the advantage that we can leverage resources and speed up the development cycle enormously. Implementation guides can be created, balloted, and published at the same time as the underlying standards. The long-term wish of the HIMSS board to merge with IHMSDO hasn't happened yet, as substantial advances by Google in the area of natural language parsing has lessened the need to code data for aggregation and clinical decision support. IHMSDO is currently refocusing on being the clinical reference terminology. Therefore, the merger with IHMSDO has been put on the back burner. I look forward to meeting you in Beijing. We expect well over 1,100 attendees to attend, as well as an equivalent number via telepresence. The meeting will take place from September 11th up to the 16th at Beijing Convention Center, one of the largest of its kind in China. The meeting has the following featured topics. First of all, the EHRIM implementation guide, the implementation model for EHRs, based in part on 13606 mixed with concepts from CDAR4. CDAR4 is also a topic by itself. We're working on an update of this e-document standard. There's also a large DICOM 4 work item, a discussion of how to achieve better alignment with CDR4 whilst remaining largely compatible with DICOM 3. In terms of ballot reconciliation, we hope to finalize the standard for CDS using algorithmic semantic analysis and RFH-R2. In terms of logistics, the Beijing airport is conveniently located near the city, and we have negotiated a discount rate at the 5-star Beijing International Hotel. I've been there, really excellent facilities. Or you could choose to stay at any other hotel of your pleasing. Registration is currently still possible at a discounted rate. Please register as soon as possible on our website. Should you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call our office in Copenhagen, Ann Arbor or Beijing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. Some of you may have participated in IHMSDO at some point of time during the past 30 years, and who knows where we'll be 30 years from now. Given our accomplishments in the past, I am confident we can make a similar leap forward in the next 30 years. There's still a lot that can be done to support the delivery of care. Thank you. See you in Beijing.